Okay, well, let's go ahead and get started. Good morning, good evening, and good night, wherever you are in the world. And thank you so much for joining us on the Page One webcast today. This webcast is entitled Can You See Me Now? And you may remember if you got any of the introductory emails from me, if you were invited to the webcast. If you're not, I'm sorry. I'll get you next time. But if you were invited to the webcast, you may remember that it was originally called SEO, ROI, and LOL. And honestly, when I started putting together the outline of what I wanted to share today, it wasn't really that funny. So I took the LOL out because I didn't want to waste your time. Just want to get right to the guts of it and share the information we have without the whole dog and pony show. So speaking of webcasts, I want to share a couple things today. That I want to share some questions. I want to share some answers, and share some strategies that will help your business from an SEO standpoint. And but I know that webcasts can sometimes be quite lengthy. I've been on webcasts that have been 1, 2, even 3 hours long, and honestly, now while it was a great webcast, it was just way too long because it sucked up all your time. So I'm going to try to make this webcast relatively short. I'm going to shoot for about 30, 35 minutes, maybe 40 minutes total, and so you can get some quality information and not be stuck on it all day long. I will warn you that there is a little bit of a pitch at the end. That's just the price of admission. Even though this is free information, the price of admission is actually listening to me and listening to the pitch at the end. So hope you enjoy the free information and enjoy the pitch at the end, of course. So now you may be wondering about at Page One SEO. You may be wondering who I am. My name is Marcus Smith, by the way. You may be wondering, who is this guy? What does he know? Right? There's a lot of fakes out there, a lot of frauds. I am not one of them. So, just to tell you a little bit about myself, I've got about 20 years experience in sales and marketing. 15 of those years were in construction and real estate industries, and most of that time was spent in the home building industry as an executive. I've done everything from market research to executive management, but most of those years were done in the home building realm as part owner of a home building company in Tampa, Florida. And good to see that the home building industry is on the right track again, on the increase. It's good to see rooftops going up. And also have won numerous awards and recognition for sales and marketing from the TBBA, which is the Tampa Builders Association, and the NAHB, the National Association of Home Builders. And now I typically just focus on digital marketing, focus on SEO, of course, web marketing, consultation, several different things in the web realm. So what I want to do today is I want to start off with a kind of a lighthearted question, kind of creepy question actually. Where is the best place to hide a dead body? And maybe you've heard this, maybe you haven't. But give me some answers in the chat box there. It's okay. Yep. Yeah, maybe a riverbank, maybe your trunk, maybe your closet. Okay, it's getting really creepy right now. Okay, well, the real answer is the best place to hide a dead body is the second page of Google. And if you know anything about search engines, you know that to be true. That's one of those jokes that's funny because it's true. Because if your website is not on the first page of Google, if it's on the second page, third page, or even, God forbid, the 10th page, you are in no man's land. Nobody sees you because most of people don't go to the second page of Google. So that's why it's funny. Ha ha ha. Now, the first question I want to talk about today is, what is search engine optimization? Well, I'm going to answer the question with a question, and I'm going to answer it with this: What is a search engine? I'll try to talk better today. A search engine is a web-based tool that enables users to locate information on the World Wide Web. Popular examples of search engines are Google, Yahoo, and MSN, Bing. Search engines utilize automated software applications referred to as robots, bots, or spiders that travel along the web, following links from page to page, site to site. So basically, Google and Yahoo and Bing have these, and all of them have these programs that go out, and there's an algorithm, a master algorithm, or a matrix, if you will, that tells that tells these programs to go out and find relevant content, to find relevant information. Now, in the future, I'm sure that matrix will take over machines and we'll be slaves to it. But for now, it's just looking for relevant content. And they do that by crawling on, that's really creepy, crawling on your website to look for that relevant content. I hate to burst your bubble, but there's not a guy at Google in a corner somewhere reading websites. It just doesn't happen. But these robots or these spiders are programmed to look for that particular content, and when they find it, they index that content. They index those sites to be in the proper order based on the algorithm A through Z. And if you have everything that matches up with A through Z, then you're going to get ranked. So what is search engine optimization? Well, search engine optimization refers to the process of optimizing both the on-page and off-page, both things that we're going to talk about, factors in order to achieve high search engine rankings. Just as the illustration shows, it is definitely a race. It is a race to get there, and it is a race to stay there. So we're going to talk about both of those factors, on-page and off-page SEO. Now let's talk about search engine ranking. How do they rank against each other? Well, as most of us know, Google is the 400-pound gorilla in the room. I mean, it really is the ultimate search engine. It is the authority because of its the way that they've placed themselves as the authority. They have 84% of the market share. They literally have become the search engine. In fact, that's why how do I find it? Well, Google it. And it's just become part of our language, our English language, and others. Bing and Yahoo have a very small percentage, and then of course all the others fall into less than 2%. AOL used to be huge. If you're old enough to remember, AOL is how I got started, how I got my first email, and you turn on your modem and make that scratchy sound, and then 45 minutes later you'd be on the internet and be able to actually look at a picture for once. Anyway, they focus on media and some other things now, so they're not a big search engine anymore. But Google is the authority. It is the master of this domain. So let's talk about the components of their algorithm, their formula I mentioned earlier, because it's a big part of what we do in SEO. They focus first and foremost on the trust and authority of your domain, of the host domain, the link popularity of each specific page, the anchor text in the links on your page, on-page keywords, hosting, traffic and click-through data, and of course social networking, social graph metrics. That's basically how it breaks down. That's actually not the algorithm. That's obviously not the formula, but that's how it breaks down. And so therefore, those are the things that we focus on when we do search engine optimization. Now, question number 2 is, why do I need SEO? I get this all the time, obviously, because I deal with SEO, I deal with clients, and I have a lot of people that say, why do I even need SEO? I mean, I have a website, right? I had this guy I had this kid down the street create my website, and it looks pretty good, and so I tell people about it. So why do I need SEO? Well, if you don't have SEO today, then you might as well just take your website, fold it up, and throw it away. If you really want it to be a tool that you can use to grow your business, then you have to have SEO today. You have to have search engine optimization, and you need to have that on a monthly basis. Just as the illustration shows, SEO is like going to the eye doctor for your website. Or another way to say it, it's like going to an eye doctor for the search engine, for your search engine to see your website, okay? And the reason why I say that is because if you've ever had corrective lenses, if you've ever had glasses or contacts, you know that when you go to the eye doctor, he does this test on your eyes, right? And he makes all these little adjustments. He says, is one better or two better? One better or two better? One better or two better? And And then based on what you say, he makes those adjustments so that at the end you'll have 20/20 vision or better, maybe. Um, Search engine optimization is exactly the same thing. We go in and we make little adjustments to make sure that your web page or your website lines up with the algorithm that Google and Yahoo and Bing and others have put out there. And by doing so, your website becomes clear to search engines. It's as simple as that. And the reason why you need it is because if you want your website to actually compete, if you want to actually make some money from your website possibly, or even just direct traffic to your website, then your website has to be visible. So here's some amazing facts about SEO. First of all, 93% of all online experiences begin with a search engine. That means that 93% of us go to the web and we type in Google. I mean, you've noticed it. You've been sitting watching a football game or something, and all of a sudden something comes up on a commercial or somebody says something to you, and then later you're like, oh man, what was that? You can't always remember website names. You can't always remember domain names. So what do? You Google something. You Google, I don't know, whatever. Whatever you're looking for, green lizards or whatever you're looking for, and so 93% of people start that way. And in addition, 82% of internet users use search engines. So in fact, a lot of people have their home page set as Google or Yahoo. You open up your browser, it goes right there. And so that's, search engines have trained us to use them in that fashion. 70% of links that search engine click on are organic, which means that 70% of links that people click on are not paid advertisements. And I'm kind of this way. I really kind of stay away from paid advertisements, even though we do pay-per-click campaigns for clients. It's just my nature. 70 to 80% of users ignore the paid ads, focusing only on organic results. I think it's just something about human nature. Now, if you're really dialed in, if there's something specific that you're looking for, then I think paid advertising is a good idea. Pay-per-click campaigns can be very useful, especially when you're trying to get your SEO off the ground. It's a good idea, and you want to get traffic right away. It's a good idea to do a little bit of both. But I think it's just human nature to go and click on those organic links. 75% of users never scroll past the first page of search results. That's what we talked about at the beginning. Most people will find what they're looking for in the first few search results that they come to. Most people don't even click on the second page. Again, unless you're looking for something specific, unless you're looking for a specific company that's listed, then you may have to go to the second or even third page. But if you're not on that first page, then you're non-existent. SEO leads have a 14.6% close rate, while outbound leads, such as direct mail or print advertising, have a 1.7 close rate. This is huge, and I'm going to explain why. The reason why is that when you have let's say you have a postcard campaign, and you send out 1,000 postcards to potential customers in your area, you're fishing for that customer. Okay, you're basically saying, hey, listen, I'm out there. If you need my business or if you need my service or product, I'm here for you. SEO leads, on the other hand, are fishing for you. The people that go to a search engine and look for something specific, they've already got it in their mind that they have an interest in your product, an interest in your service, and so if they type that in and you pop up on the first page of Google, you have a 14.6% close rate potential because they're looking for you instead of the other way around. For Google, 18% of organic clicks go to the number one position, 10% go to the number two position, and 7% of organic clicks go to the number three position, which means that all top three results receive 35% of the market share. That's huge. And in fact, that number is probably low. I mean, in my opinion, that number is probably low. But that just shows you that the top three positions get all the market share, and the importance of being on that first page is just critical. I think I beat that to death. Okay, let's talk about ROI for a minute. This is where it really gets fun, because you may be sitting here listening to me and you may say, you know what? I don't care how SEO works. I don't really want to know. I've got my own business. I've got to run my business. It's not anything to do with SEO. I just want to make it work, right? Well, uh, if you're one of those people, I apologize. I'm sorry that I'm talking about it, but this is how your return on investment works. Businesses that implement SEO see these average results. Okay, the statistics show that businesses that go from no SEO to using an SEO campaign will see a web traffic increase of 169%. Well, I'll tell you that I just had a client just this past month that had a 300% increase in web traffic just in their first month. So and that is just their first month. We're going to see more as we go along in the campaign. But web traffic, these are just averages. Web traffic increase of 169%, a conversion increase of 202%, and a sales increase of 300%. Now, if you're kind of bumping along the bottom and you're getting some traffic to your site and maybe you're getting some leads here and there, how much would 169% or 202% or even 300% increase help your business? Probably a lot. So let's talk about, this is a graph I did for somebody just recently to show them the differences of what has been their traffic over the last 12 months. And just based on some averages, just based on statistics, this is what their traffic, and the blue line would be the traffic if they had an SEO campaign. Okay, so as you can see, the difference is huge. It's just very visual to show the difference between having an SEO campaign and not having an SEO campaign. So if you don't have an SEO campaign right now, you may want to get one. Now, let's talk about a strategy. Strategy number one is treat your website like an online model center. Now, I mentioned earlier that my background is mainly in home building. In fact, as VP of Sales and Marketing, one of the things that I had to do was basically build our model centers from the ground up. Now, I didn't actually build them, which is a good thing, but I would work with the builders to design it, to decide what things went into the model centers, how to set up the sales and other areas. And one of the things, if you've ever worked in that industry, or even if you've been to a model center, you'll know that that the model centers are always pristine. They're cleaned twice, maybe 3 times a week, to make sure that they're in tip-top shape, that they're always clean, they look wonderful. Model centers are typically the best of the best. They're usually the flagship product, and they're usually showing all of the great options, because you want to, especially if you only have one, you want to show as many options that are available in that home for people to buy. So it's obviously a very important part of what we do in home building. But your website should reflect that. Your website should be that same style, that same strategy, that it looks pristine, that it looks great all the time, that there's no errors, that that your website, when you go to it, it's got fresh, relevant content that people are looking for. A lot of times people will just say, hey, I got a website, like I mentioned earlier. Hey, I got a website. This kid down the street designed it for me. It looks great and it's wonderful and everything. But then they leave it alone. And that's the worst thing you want to do. Website cannot be that old trunk that you place everything in and you just shove it in your closet. It's got to look great all the time. And there are specific reasons why. Well, I'll give you a couple. That if you have relevant content going to your site all the time, your SEO is going to be better. Your rankings are going to be better. So your website is not just a static picture that you put on the web and then hope everybody comes to. It's got to be something you take care of every single week. Make sure that it's got all the best of the best, just like a model center. That it's clean. That it's I'm going to just kill this strategy to death, but it's a good thing to think about it. So if you're not doing that on your website right now, you may want to consider implementing this strategy, especially if it's old, especially if some of the information is aged. You want to make sure that that information is relevant and new. So let's talk about content. I just killed that to death. I mean, just beat that thing to death, but let's talk a little about it a little bit more. Use keywords in your text. Make sure that if you don't have an SEO campaign, we can help you with that. But if you do, make sure your keywords in your text. You should know this. Each page of your, if you have an SEO campaign, I mean, you should know that. But each page of your content should contain about 250 to 600 words of unique content with 4 to 5 occurrences of your targeted keyword. I typically use 4 on a page. If I'll go through, I want to make sure that there's 4 occurrences of the keyword I'm focused on, and then most importantly, avoid duplicate content. If you have content from one page and you take that same content and you say, well, this is very similar, so I'm going to put this over here on my other page, you can get dinged for that on the search engines. You can actually get penalized for that. Not that they're going to come after you with the police or anything, but you can get dinged for that, which means lower rankings. Your title. This is really talking about the on-page SEO, kind of the back-end stuff that you don't see when you're actually programming the site, when you're actually developing the site. Is your title right here? Your title is this information right here, and your oh, I just clicked on it and went back. Your title is a great way to optimize your site as well. You know, Google only allows for approximately 70 characters on that title space right there. And so the great thing is to come up with a short and sufficient title that will show what you're doing, specifically for, like, let's say it's your home page, right? This is what you do. This is who we are, and this is what we do, and this is who we are. That's what I just said. And then this is what shows up down here when you're on your actual your search engine and you're looking for something. This is SEO Moz, which is now called just Moz, but they did a very short and sweet title. It's pretty basic. Shows what they do and how they do it. And then the second part about that is the description, which is the second part of this little snippet here. And the description allows for 156 characters, or Google allows for 156 characters in your description, which just enables you to go through and put in a little more information specifically to what you do, specifically to that page. And that's a great way. What you want to make sure is that your title and your description both have keywords that you're looking for. So if your keyword is home builder Lexington, Kentucky, then that's what you want to make sure that you have in your title and your keyword. So those are critical, obviously, as far as your content, and then titles and descriptions are very, very important. Is really the backbone of your on-page SEO to make sure that those things are done correctly. Let's talk about link popularity. This is more about outbound or off-page SEO, but inbound and incoming links refer to links from other related sites that are pointing to your site. One of the things that we try to do is we go through at page 1 and we build a network of related sites that will point to your site and basically just bring your site with them. The analogy is like, let's say that you're in high school and maybe you're not very popular in high school, but all of a sudden you get asked out by the prom queen or the prom king, right? How much more are you going to be popular if you're going out with somebody that's already popular, right? So this works the same way. We try to match you up with high page rank sites and then link back to your site so that those sites bring you up in popularity. It's just how the algorithm is written. I don't know how it works. I just know that it works. Actually, that's not true. I know how it works. I just I'm not the one who wrote it. So anyway, That's how it works. Is it actually just brings you up in popularity so that your site is popular as well, and then you develop PageRank as well. Your outbound and outgoing links basically work the same way, and then your anchor text or your link text. That means actual links that are in your text that are linking out to other sites or linking back to your site. YouTube is YouTube links are very important right now as well, because YouTube is it's got a very high page rank. So if you have videos on your site, or you can link back to a video on your specific page, then it's really important to do that. I mentioned this earlier, but I'm just going to cover it again. Update your website frequently. Make sure that you've got relevant content and you can update it frequently. One of the best ways to do this is to have a blog, to have an area where you can add content to it every single day or every single week. But whatever you do, whatever you can come up with, a lot of times people aren't writers, and so you need to hire somebody. You need to hire a writer. Hire somebody like Page One to go in and add more content to your site on a weekly or monthly or quarterly basis. But the more relevant content that you can add, the better. It's gonna help with your rankings as well. Off-page optimization. We talked about that just briefly a minute ago, but just to touch on a couple other things. We talked about blogging already, just to add new content, new services. Social media networking is huge as well, because Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Google+, all these sites have high page ranks, and when you can, number one, feed out to potential clients that are on those networks, but also feed back to your website, that's critical. It's very important to do both. You can't just, if you're just going out all the time, you've got to link back to your site. So whenever you put an update out there, make sure you're linking back to your site. If you're asking people to go to a certain event, make sure you're linking back to a page that has that event information on there. Forums are also very important. There are lots of forums that you can find for your specific industry that you can go out and comment on, and basically do almost like a link exchange. You're adding content to their site by adding comments, and then if you link back, if they allow you to link back to your site, do so, because that'll help your rankings as well. All right, strategy number 2, know yourself and know your client. This is really important, and this is obviously just a basic marketing principle, but the important part is to know yourself. Who are you as a company? Not yourself, but you as a corporation, you as a business. Who do you cater to? Okay, and the reason why you have to know this is because if you don't know it, then they won't know it. So as I said, it's a pretty basic marketing principle, but it's an important strategy to touch on. Let's put it in this analogy. All these people sitting on this yard here, all these people sitting on this lawn, are your web competition. Okay, whatever industry you're in, whatever business you're in, all these people are trying to reach the same client. They all want the same client. That's actually kind of scary to have all those people, and hopefully you're not in the center of all those people and they're going to mob you, right? Well, imagine this. With search engine optimization, all these people are your competition, and you're trying to fit all these people into this one little elevator. Well, that's the first page of Google. That elevator is really the first page of Google. So all these people are vying for this same position, all trying to get into that top position on the first page of Google. There's no way you're going to get all those people in the top. So it's critical to have a strategy that puts you in that elevator among all those people, right? You've got to get on that elevator. You've got to get above the competition. You've got to do on page. You've got to do off page SEO. You've got all these different strategies to get you in the same elevator with all these people. Well, guess what? I just said it. It's not going to happen. It's just there's not enough space for everyone to fit in there. So a good strategy to do that, and why it's important to know yourself and to know your client, is another strategy is just to why fight it? Why fight it? Why fight the competition? One of the things that we do is we say, don't take the elevator, take the escalator. Or if you need to lose some weight, take the stairs. So rather than going along with everybody, trying to fight all those people that are vying for the same position, another way to do it is just not to fight the competition. And if you know yourself and you know your client, if you know your business and you know exactly who you're looking for, and you know your client, like I said, you know who you're looking for, then the best way to do it is to focus on niche keywords. And there's a lot of people that talk about this, but niche keywords are really a great way to focus in on specifically the client that you need. Okay, let's say that you're, oh gosh, nothing pops in my head, but let's just say you've got a specially designed Tupperware bowl, and you're looking for customers that want this particular bowl, right? Well, instead of just putting out there, you can't do Tupperware bowls because Tupperware owns that, but instead of just putting keywords out there like plastic bowl, well, put out specific words that have to do with what's unique about your bowl, what's unique about your particular product that will bring the number one client. Maybe it's a one client that only wants the color green. My son Tyler is an amazing kid, and he loves the color green. He loves it. Now I tell him all the time. That geniuses love the color green. And so he loves to know that, even though he doesn't really know what a genius is yet. He loves to hear that. So maybe it's only customers that want green bowls or green salad forks or whatever it might be. Maybe I'm hungry. You want to develop keywords, or have somebody like Page One develop keywords that specifically focus on customers or clients that you're looking for, and basically move everyone out of the way that you don't want to deal with, and only deal with the people that are looking for your particular product or service. That's what niche keywords are. And if you know your company, if you know exactly who you are, and you know exactly who your client is, then niche keywords are very important, and they're very easy to do. All right. Strategy number three. Strategy number three is you must have a battle plan. This is critical, especially for someone who is strategic in nature. You've got to have a plan. Even Ben Franklin, who was not a general or who was not in the military, as far as I know, even Ben Franklin said, if you fail to plan, you're planning to fail. I think most of us have heard that once or twice. But even the Bible has something to say about it. It says, where there is no vision, the people perish. That's in Proverbs 29:18. You've got to have a plan for your business. You've got to have a plan for your search engine optimization, or you're gonna fail. And so the best way to do that is that at Page One SEO, what we do is, and you can do the same thing. You can focus on these things. If you want to do it in-house, that's great. But what you want to focus in on is this pyramid, this SEO pyramid. This is the best way to start. You want to build a foundation of unique text content, site maps. You want to make sure that all the foundation is done, that all the different things that we do to connect your site to search engines are done. And then certainly want to add keywords. That's where we talk about the niche keywords, and making sure that all the phrases and then all the titles and meta descriptions that we talked about earlier are completed with keywords. You want to make sure that your headings and your text and your anchor text are all in there. And then you want to start doing some of the off-page SEO, like link building, manual requests, link creation, those types of things as well. And then finally, bring in the social networking we talked about earlier, where you're feeding out to social networks, but then you're feeding back into your website. That's going to build that ranking that you want. That's going to build those page ranks that you want. So it's critical to have this plan. And one of the things that we do is we build a strategy just like this. What are we going to do with the site? Well, we're going to build that quality content. We're going to do keyword analysis and research. And then we're going to do link building. We're going to do all the on-page SEO. Then we're going to do the off-page SEO. And then we're going to bring in the social strategy as well. So it's critical to have a plan, and I hope you do. And then the last question I have for you is, what is performance-driven SEO? Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about page one SEO and what we do, how we do it. But I'm going to answer it this way. I have seen so many companies, so many SEO companies that do it the same way. Now, don't get me wrong. There's some great SEO companies out there all over the United States, all over the world that do a great job. But a lot of them do it the same way. They kind of have the same mantra. They say basically this. They say, excuse me. They say, hey, okay, so we're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to take your site and we're going to do some, excuse me, we're going to do some link building. We're going to do some on-page SEO, and we're going to charge you $600 a month and hopefully have you to the top of Google in 6 months. That's basically their deal. And oh, by the way, we'll call you when it's done. Don't call us, we'll call you, right? If you've ever heard this before, or if you've ever worked with another SEO company, that might ring true for you. All right? But I didn't want to do it that way. I wanted to do something that was unique, but where the client received results right away. Or they better way to say it is that they received results they could truly see. Okay? So what we do at Page One SEO is we do a free website analysis. So at the end of this webcast, if you would like a free web analysis, you want a free SEO analysis, fill out the form. I'd be happy to do it for you, and then so you can actually see where your page is ranking or your website is ranking, see what kind of scores you're getting right now as far as SEO is concerned. Then we do an SEO strategy that we just talked about. We basically lay out what we're going to do and how we're going to do it. And then we do a keyword report. So we submit to you using niche keywords, and we submit this keyword report to you that shows exactly what keywords we're suggesting you focus on and how we're going to bring that into the SEO strategy. And then we also do a competitive report. So we take those keywords and we say, okay, these are the keywords that we need to focus on, but here's also how your competition is doing in that arena. And then we do the on-page SEO. We build all those things internally on the page, like your titles and descriptions, and make sure you have good content. Make sure you have good keyword density in there. All those different things, doing the on-page SEO. And then we bring in the off-page SEO, where we build all those links. We build that network of high page rank sites for you, so that you can get popularity from dating the prom queen, right? So we bring all those together so that they link back to your site. And then this is really the hub of it. We do full reporting at the end of the month. We show you exactly where you are, not just traffic, not just Google Analytics, not just how many people visit your site, but also where you are on the keyword rankings. So the keywords that we select together will show you exactly where you are, and then every single month you can see what kind of improvement you're getting on your rankings as we go along. That's really the key for me, was that I wanted it to be fully accountable, wanted people to be able to see exactly what's going on, and then finally actually see some results. Well, what if you don't see results? Well, let's talk about that for a minute. The monthly reporting here, okay, this is actually, I'm sorry this is kind of small, but this actually shows the 3-page report that we do. This, number one, shows you traffic for the month. Number two shows you traffic sources, where it came from, where your search traffic came from. Or excuse me, search traffic, referral traffic, or direct traffic, meaning search engine or came to your site from another site, or someone just going directly there, someone typing it in and going directly to your site. And then the third part about it is your keyword rankings. Actually show you how you're improving on your keywords that we select. So the monthly reporting is key. And so what I said a minute ago was, well, what if you don't get the rankings? Excuse me. What if you don't get the rankings? Well, this is how our pricing structure is set up. First of all, you just pay a low monthly fee for SEO. You start out, there's no upfront costs. There's no upfront costs for doing the on-page or getting the site ready or anything like that. We just charge a low monthly fee. Normally it's $4.99. Right now I'm only charging $3.99, just an introductory price for you for $3.99, and that's just per month. But then as we increase your rankings, as we do our job and increase those rankings, we get to the first page of Google, then that price goes up. We get one keyword to the first page of Google, and the others are not far behind typically. We get that first keyword to the first page of Google, the price does go up to $6.99. I think people should be rewarded for what they do, right? And what's great is, as you start to see the increase in your rankings, you also see the web traffic and the conversion and the sales go up as well. It's really just a following process. If you can get those rankings up, then the traffic and the conversions and the sales are going to increase as well. So it's really important for us to get you to that first page. And then if we can get you to that coveted position 1 through 3, the price goes up just a little more to $7.99. But again, remember that if we get you to the top of that, then you're going to be getting the lion's share. You're going to be getting the lion's share of the actual market share that people are going to. Those clicks that people are clicking on, they're going to be going to your site most of the time if you're in that 1 through 3 position. And now the question is, well, what if it goes back down, right? Well, that's the great thing, is that if your keywords go back down, if we're not doing our job right, then and your keywords go back down past the first page of Google, then you don't pay the higher amount. You pay the lower amount. You just pay the flat fee of $3.99. So it's a great way to get started on a low flat fee, and then just pay for your improvement. Pray for your SEO, but also pay for your improvement on your keyword rankings. So full accountability and fully performance driven is how our company is set up. Now, I love Rocky. Who doesn't love Rocky, right? Rocky is a great character. He's a fighter. He's a wonderful human being. He can't talk very well, but he's a good human being. So what I want to do is I want to invite you to go to our site. There's a link down below. You can click and go to our site specifically. It's www.page1-seo.com. But if you go to the link below that it says "Get Started Today," you'll hear a special message from Rocky, my friend Rocky, and then you'll get an opportunity to start working with Page One SEO. I hope you do, but certainly I hope that this webcast has been informative for you. I hope that you take at least one good thing away from it today, and don't hesitate to contact us if you have any questions, or like I said earlier, if you just want to get that free SEO analysis. Go to the website. There's a contact form right there. You just fill out your information, and we'll be happy to give you that free analysis and see how we can help you. Thanks so much. Have a great day, and God bless.